This story comes from a family friend all the way from the Blue Ridge Mountains back in the 1920s. This friend of my grandpa's was building a cabin up there in 1929. In the early fall, he went hunting in the mountains near the Georgia line. He came across some very large footprints, too large for any man, and too remote for anyone to be walking around. So he began to track the footprints across open fields, sideways up the mountain ridge, and at times almost straight up the ridge, which he found nearly impossible to climb, even for a man of his age. He had been tracking those huge footprints for miles, till he got the strange feeling that he was being led astray. He began to feel a sense of dread and impending doom. He felt apprehension and anxiety, but he didn't use those exact words. Mountain folk didn't use words like that in those days, but he was very nervous and scared. So he decided to backtrack and get himself the heck out of that area before it got dark. He became aware very quickly that he was being followed. He said that the faster he would walk, the faster whatever it was following him would walk. When he slowed down, it would slow down. And when he ran, it would run. And when he stopped, it would also stop. After all the speeding up, slowing down, stopping, and waiting, he just couldn't get a look at this thing. He could hear it all the time, so near, keeping pace with his every move. He felt it watching him, waiting. This went on for what seemed like hours, all along the way, running, stopping, waiting, until finally he was getting close to home. About the last mile or so is when he gave it all he had and ran for his life. That's when he let off a few shots from his shotgun behind him while he was still running. He didn't even bother to look where he was shooting. He just slung the barrel over his shoulder and shot, all the while looking ahead, running. He finally made it home, scared out of his mind. And in the days that followed, he shared the story with my grandpa, who used to tell it to my great aunt, who would some years later tell it to me. They said that this friend of theirs never did care to touch liquor of any kind when he was a young man, but after that happened to him, he could never seem to put it down. He also swore that he would never go up to that area again, a promise that he kept until his passing. He never did finish building that cabin up there. I'm just saying what I was told, that's all. Thank you.